Hi, I'm here to talk about importing text files into IDEA. Any file to be analyzed first needs to be imported into IDEA. All files, regardless of their source type, are imported using the Import Assistant. You additionally have the option to drag and drop the source file into IDEA to start the import process. To launch the Import Assistant, select Import on the Home tab. Next, select the appropriate source file type from the list, in this case, text, and then use the Browse button beside the file name to select the actual file to be imported. I want the sales file, so I will click that and then click Open. In the Import Assistant dialog, click Next. The Import Assistant file type screen appears and analyzes the data to try and determine what kind of text file it is. IDEA recognizes 4 basic types: delimited or comma separated, delimited extended, fixed length, and episodic fixed length. Verify that IDEA has chosen the correct type and click Next. In the Specify Record Length screen, verify the record length. When the length is calculated, any field delimiters are included in the length, but the record delimiters, typically a carriage return and line feed, which appear at the end of the row, are not. If the information here is wrong, you can adjust it by using the toggle bars. When you're happy with how this looks, click Next. Here, you get a preview of the data, and IDEA makes a guess where the records are. Click in the data window to add a line, or double-click an existing line to remove it. You can also click and hold to move an existing line. When you're happy with where the record delimiter lines appear, click Next. In the Fields Detail sections, you define the fields by providing a name, data type, and optional description of the field. For anything defined as a numeric data type, you need to specify the number of decimals if it's other than 0. For date and time fields, you must provide a date mask. A mask tells IDEA which numbers in the date represent the day, which are the months, and which are the years. I will quickly fill these details now. When you have specified this information for all the fields you wish to import, click Next. You have the option to create fields during the file creation. We aren't going to do that in this example, so click Next. You also have the option to specify criteria to limit the data that is imported. Again, we aren't going to do this now, so click Next. Finally, in the last screen, you have the option to either link or import the data. Linking saves space, but importing allows IDEA to run faster. You can opt to generate field statistics and to create a number record field if you wish. Select the Generate Field Statistics box, but leave the record number field deselected for now. A record definition will be created and saved for you by default. The record definition is an auxiliary file which stores the information about the different fields, how long each field is, what the data types are, and so on. These files can be reused, so if you get a file with a similar structure on a regular basis, for example, a monthly payroll statement, you only need to define this information once. Then it gets reused each month when you get a new payroll file. Finally, provide a name for your database. I'm calling mine sales transaction. Click Finish to complete the import process. The file opens up in IDEA. In the Properties pane, click on Control Total. There is only one numeric field, amount, so select that to keep the sum available on the screen at all times. When you're finished, close the sales transaction database. So now we have successfully imported a fixed length text file in IDEA. Let's quickly look at another text file example. For this, I will use a comma-separated value text file or a CSV file. Instead of using the import assistant, let's drag and drop the delimited.csv file into IDEA. The import assistant dialog opens with the file selected. Click Next. The import assistant file type screen appears and analyzes the data to try and determine what kind of text file it is. As you can see, IDEA has recognized that this file is a delimited or a CSV file. Click Next. The next dialog is where we can specify the field separator and the text encapsulator. Field separator is a character that tells IDEA where one field ends and another field begins. IDEA has a few default ones that it recognizes, such as a comma, colon, semicolon, tab, and space. Additionally, you can enter a custom one by choosing Other. Let's quickly look at our source data. We can see that we have a comma which separates each field. This is what IDEA will look for when creating the different fields. Text encapsulator is a character that tells IDEA that any text within the encapsulator, double quotes in this example, is also a text. So this allows us to use special characters such as a comma, which is our field separator, within the text field without triggering IDEA to think that it is a new field. Let's take another look at our source data. Here in the fourth row, we have John Maxwell Sr. If we didn't have the text encapsulators, the double quotes in this case, IDEA would have assumed that senior is in the third field instead of the second field. Moving on, IDEA also allows the ability to select which header files to ignore. This can be used in the cases where the file contains additional information in the header, such as the file name, the file size, and so on. Lastly, you have the option to select first visible row is field names. It will be checked by default if the data contains field names, but you can configure it. Once I uncheck it, you can see in the preview window that we have the first row as field names. So for now, I will leave this checked. Click Next in this dialog. Now, similar to our last example, we will define the field names. In this example, we already have those defined. So I will quickly just check the field types here. So for example, for account number, I want to use character instead of the numeric, and I will quickly check if all the other ones are character as well. So customer name, customer address, customer city, and customer province. So all of this looks fine to me. Additionally, I also have the option to ignore a particular field from importing. So for example, maybe I don't want to import the customer province here. So I will select do not import this field. Click Next on this dialog. I will skip over the create fields as well as the import criteria options. And lastly, I will click Finish to import this file into IDEA. And now the file has imported successfully. I can click on the history to look at the information about the import as well. Thanks for watching this video.